Hey everybody, let's jump right back into this. This is going to be the second part of the two-part video of where my project has been and where it is. This part of the video will be mostly after the move from Columbus to London. It's a different life now for the car. The car has taken a huge turn, and then it took an even bigger turn. Buckle in, follow along, and I'll try not to bore you too much. Tail lights and tire smoke. Let's get out of Columbus. I was actually doing 75 on the way there. Actually, more like 85 at a couple points. And as you saw in the other segment, this is where I was moving to. About the time that we went into contract with this house, Josh sends me a message and says, "Hey, how would you like to go with a V6? So, well, yeah. So we work out a deal where he's going to give me a V6. It's the 2.8 and a 5-speed. And we're going to put it in the car and do a step-by-step for the page. So he's in a bind, and I decide, yeah, I got to get this engine to him. It was part of the deal anyways. So here I am doing the world's fastest removal of a 1.6 and 5-speed. I'm sure Josh could have done it quicker, but hey, look at me go. This is awesome, right? Hopefully this would get him back on the road with his car, and he'd be mobile again. I'm not driving mine, so what's the difference, right? There we go. Drop it down. Drop it like it's hot. And then it sat. And I decided to start goofing off, and I start doing some prep work for some stripes. You know, prep is the most important thing, and there I am making the whole surface level and everything, right? So I've wanted scallops ever since the 90s when I first saw scallops in the hot rod magazines. Used the newspaper that I stole off of the neighbor's front lawn. Again, prep work is everything. Tack rags. These are actually left over from a project from back in 2008, I think. I scrubbed it, and look at that. Enter the world's most craptastic spray paint. 99 cents a can at Walmart. To this day, Matthew still brags to his friends when they look at the car in the garage and he says, "I helped paint it." I love it. Here it is. I kind of like how it looks on the sides. I think it looks pretty badass, honestly, but the hood, I'm not digging it so much. I'm going to have to do something with it later. I don't know what. Red pinstripes, that helps make a finished product. Gets rid of the choppy line and gives a more finished appearance. And it does give a finished appearance, in my opinion. I think it looks really sharp. Totally finishes it off. Look at that. Look at the texture in the paint. You can't get that at a body shop. That's custom. Now, anybody who knows these cars knows that these pop-out windows are usually busted. This latch right here is broken. You can't really tell in this picture, but it is. The hinges were also broken. That's actually a new one on the way in. I didn't get a picture of the broken ones. That's the new pop-outs, and everything is great back there now. Josh tells me I need to look at my fuel tank. The carburetor was full of rust. Look at this. This is nasty. Nasty. For the love of God. Now, remember, I was hauling ass on the way here from London. This proves that Josh can make an engine run off of anything, even liquid rust. He sells me another tank, one that looks a lot better on the inside, but on the outside it's pretty rough. I mean, even the fuel line on the outside is trashed. So I cut it off, put in another fuel line, and splice it together with some rubber hose. It's going to be carbureted. It doesn't matter. And it sat and got buried this time. I do love the stickers. You like this. It's a whole Facebook thing. Then I post on here that I've got a rear end out of a Camaro, and people start wondering why. 411s, posi, disc brakes. What's going on? I don't tell them anything. I just gut the interior and start working on floorboards. That's not a pizza box. That is a template. So there you go. More templates. I get some sheet metal from work out of the dumpster, and I start making floorboards. Look at that break that I made. You can't make this stuff up. That's awesome. That's custom. And, the finished product's not too bad. And then it sat. How'd you know that was coming? Those floorboards have not been done yet to this day. Then Josh is in a bind again. He's got another car that needs a rear end. So I stopped what I was doing, and I ripped out my rear end. I don't need this, obviously. I've got the Camaro rear end. He gives me another rear end to put underneath this to make it a roller, and it had good spring pockets and all that stuff. So I'm going to take all that stuff off and put it on the Camaro rear end when the time comes. And then it sat. So just as Josh is getting ready to get the 2.8 out to me, we find out it's junk. Oh man, what are we going to do? So he grabs his L67 that he was holding on to for another project and brings it over. He brings the engine, transaxle, a whole bunch of spare parts, and drops it all off. Then later on, he brings a 5-speed from a Camaro and some more parts and drops them all off. He says there's going to be some custom fab work, there's going to be some cussing, there's going to be some kicking, but it's going to work. There's the transaxle. It's probably going into his Citation. And, of course, then it sat. Then I did some bumper mods. We went over this recently on the videos. Cut an inch out on both sides to tuck them in a little bit. There we go, welded them back together. Cut out a big giant center section so we can get some more air into it, into the radiator. And added some sheet metal on the backside and give it some depth. And of course it sits just like that today. There's the Camaro 5-speed, the S10 tail shaft behind it. You notice the shifter location is forward on the S10. That's going to come in handy. Then there's the top plate that also goes with that tail shaft. So take it apart, and I can't get it to go together. I can't get it to go back together with the original parts. At first I thought the transmission was bad, but apparently it was just me. Josh comes over and he just goes, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and it's put together. Kind of embarrassing, but hey, it's together. Here, take that. Hopefully it'll lift high enough. I did just fill the ram, but I have to load test it.
That's kind of hell of a time to load test.
Remember when I pulled the 4 and the 5-speed out, I couldn't get it up high enough.
Right. Alright, start coming down with it.
Okay. Come down.
Alright, come back. Alright, come back with it. Alright, come down slowly and I'll start guiding it.
Come down.
Okay. Go into the tunnel. Alright, hold on a minute.
Holding.
Okay.
Here, hold on. Watch yourself. I gotta kick it over.
Alright. Okay.
There we go.
We're at that point.
You ready?
Yeah.
Come forward, go backwards.
Yeah, come back with it. We're under the control arm.
Car sits too low.
Yeah. Alright, you come down with the engine?
Come down.
We're clear of the cross member now.
Yep. Oil filter's going to be the coming down.
Yeah, let's see, the oil filter will definitely be the hang-up. And the oil pressure switches just can't work. GM quality oil pressure switches. Come down with it.
Down.
in there like swimwear, buddy. Alright, come down with it.
Okay, we're hitting steering shaft.
Alright.
Bell housing. Okay, coming down.
Hey, it's working.
Okay, sitting on the cross and I'm running oil pan.
You know, I don't want to jinx it, so I'm going to shut up.
Hang on a minute. Let's get an idea for where we're at here. Hell yeah!
Looking good?
I think it's going to pop out in the automatic hole spot.
It's good, I already have a hole there.
Yeah. There's the tail shaft, and there's the shifter box right there. It should come up, right now it's right here. It should come up right about here once we've got it all the way back.
So we talk about just taking these off?
Yep. Pause that for a second. Magic of TV editing, we pick right back up.
So wait, it edits for you?
Well, no, but we paused it.
Mark, talk to me.
Let's see. Go back. Start coming down. All right.
Cross member.
On the cross.
It's
That's fine.
actually on the right thing.
That's fine. That gives us kind of an idea of what we're working with. Let's see.
We need about half of that pan gone.
Okay. I can get my fingers in there. So there's definitely room. Transmission mount is currently in the automatic location.
Okay. We need about six, maybe 7 inches of oil pan gone.
Okay, or we can massage the firewall a little bit. And here is that lip, get that brake line rerouted. We can go back just a little bit more with it. Got probably between the lip and the distance we have, we probably got about 2 inches there.
And this is what it looked like after we took the oil pan off and set it down in there. Now here's Josh's ride. This thing is nice. Very, very clean. Very original. I love that sticker. Although I keep on telling him every time I see it, I'm going to paint that hood black one of these days. That would make it look a whole lot better, I think. Krager wheels. All stock, all original. And there's mine. And guess what it's doing now? It's sitting. Alright, oil pan. Look at that. Beautiful thing, huh? Why do people ramp old cars once they become beaters? There you can see how much I need to cut off. And there I am cutting it off. There's another one that we've already covered on another episode. That's a whole lot of pan cut out of there. And bolted on the engine. Hoist it up. Toss it in. And that's how it sat for a while. This is one of the other engines. I stripped it down, called it the mock block, and I use it for fitting purposes. Here's my wife doing something really neat on my instrument panel. Glitter, 2-part epoxy. I traced the gauge holes in red. Look at that shine. Here's an idea I had that's a fail that I'll explain later. You see the T5 in a Camaro sits at an angle. So I thought I would cut out the mount on the cross member and fill it in with some sheet metal like this. Seems like a brilliant move, doesn't it? I'll tell you later why it sucked. Engine gaskets with head bolts. Take it apart, start cleaning it all up. Again, this has all gone over on another episode. A lot of cleaning. Lubricating things, putting it all back together. Then I got a score on some headers. 2 pace setter headers out of a Camaro. $150. Came with the Y pipe, adjustable Y pipe at that. And then he just threw in the rest of the exhaust system because he didn't feel like taking it apart. $150, everything you see there. And think that's a Dynamax muffler. Can't quite remember. But here's the engine. It's not really put together, but it's stacked up. Painted, looking pretty. And there's the car as it sits. I think most of you remember this when I got the BMW wheels. And then there's some shocks I picked up. Front shocks are hard to find, so when you find them, you grab them. Motor mounts. This is what's coming up. Now we have lots of snow. We probably have another 6 inches on top of all that. And all there is to do now is dream about when it's done and I can attend more cruise-ins and car shows and Chevette shows. And just remember how much fun I had when it was still a driver. One day, I keep telling myself, one day it'll happen. Until then, I'll just have to keep on wrenching and putting it together and trying to get it going.